This video is sponsored by Rockler. I am such a mess. I just got back from filing my taxes and I realized that I'm just not organized at all. There was just paperwork everywhere, which is why we're building a filing cabinet that's gonna go right under this desk. And it's gonna solve all of my life problems. No, it's not. But hopefully it's just gonna make my next year just a little bit easier. So if you remember, this desk was made from walnut and black resin, which I absolutely love. And I wanna keep that same look, but instead of using resin for this project, I wanna try out this black stain that I got from Rubio Monocoat, and hopefully no regrets. Yeah, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Okay, so I've got all my wood for this project right here directly from Rockler's website. I've got some 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch ash, 3/4 inch walnut, and some 1/4 inch plywood that we're gonna use later on. These do have a little bit bold to them, but I think once we get them cut to length, it's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna skip the milling process and start building the case. By the time this video's out, Rockler will have free plans available on their website with all the dimensions and parts that you're gonna need for this build. But keep in mind, I designed this specifically to be a filing cabinet to fit these letter-sized filing folders. So if you want to use other size folders, you're gonna have to make some changes to these dimensions. Anyway, let's go ahead and break these down over at the table saw, and then we're gonna edge glue these together to make the panels for our case. I'm using Rockler Select panel clamp to help keep these boards flat during the glue up, since these are already 3/4 inch thick and I don't want to have to remove more material than I have to. We'll wait a couple hours for the glue to dry and then take them over to the table saw to cut them to their final dimensions. And I'm going to use glue and dowels to assemble the case, and we'll stain and finish. Okay guys, this case came out exactly how I hoped. It's really dark, but still retain the natural look and feel of the grain. So I am super happy with this. Now we still need to cut a rabbet in the back to receive a back panel, but we're gonna do that after we make the drawers, which is what we're gonna do now. And I have a separate video detailing exactly how I measured and made these drawer boxes in order for us to use these Blum Undermount drawer slides. So be sure to check that out, and let's get these boxes made. So our boxes are done, but in order to use these slides, we're gonna need to cut a couple notches in the back to clear these slides when it sits underneath the box like this. And then we're gonna use this drilling guide from Rockler to drill a couple holes next to those notches for these locator pins to sit into. And then we're gonna use this drilling guide again to pre-drill and attach these clips to the front of the box for these slides to lock into. And lastly, I'm gonna use this Undermount drawer slide jig from Rockler to get our slides attached to our case. Our boxes are done. We can get these sanded, throw on some finish, and call it a day. But I want to make my life harder by matching these to the case. So we're gonna have to stain it first. But before we do any of that, I'm gonna use my router and this bit here to cut a rabbet along the back perimeter of the case so that we can attach a 1/4" back panel to it, which will also be, you guessed it, stained black. Okay, it is now time to start working on our drawer fronts, and for that, I am gonna use these 3/4" walnut, and it's gonna be really straightforward. All the boards are gonna be the same width as our case. The top two are gonna be the same height, and then we're gonna have to glue up a few boards to make the larger panel for the bottom one. For the drawer pulls, I'll be using these, which means I have to use the router table to cut a recess along the top edge so that these can sit flush to the top surface once everything's installed. And then I'm just gonna sand everything, and no, I will not be staining these. I'll just put a layer of oil on it and then get these attached to the drawer fronts. we have our cabinet, which came out exactly how I hoped. Okay, now to hang these folders on here, we are going to use this slip-on folder hanger that I got from Rockler. And these come in 48 inches, so I'm gonna cut these into two 17-inch long pieces, and then we can just clip right onto the drawer edge like this. And then we are gonna add these 2.5-inch casters on the bottom to finish up our build. Okay, so I made a really stupid mistake when I designed this cabinet. I completely overlooked the extra height that these hangers added and the extra height for these tabs that goes in the folder like this. So when I open or close this drawer, the tabs will hit the drawer above it. But I got lucky because there's 1.5 inch of space under the folders. So we're gonna take this drawer out and remove about 3/4 of an inch from this top perimeter using this. No, I'm just kidding. What do you guys think? This came out really good, right? Man, I'm just so happy with how dark and even the stain is on this ash. And like I said earlier, the grain still looks and feels absolutely natural and just looks incredible with the walnut drawer fronts and these black drawer pulls. So other than the little mishap with the sizing of the bottom drawer box, everything came together really well. And if you want to build this for yourself, check out the free plans available on Rockler's website, link in the descriptions. And yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comments. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys in the next video.